UCF clinches.
What's up, Speedy? How are you? Good to see you.
Well, okay. UCF clinches at least a 3 seed, Russ. But if they win and Cincinnati loses, they're the 2. Clinches top 3 seed, I would say. Well, okay, at least 3 seed or top 3 seed. Temple, I mean, we have to say it. The only way, if they win and Tulane beats Wichita State and Tulsa beats Memphis, which is about as likely as me sprouting wings and flying home, they don't get the 3 seed, but I guess we can't say clinches because...
Yeah. No. Yes. And we could say,
I'll verbalize.
Most like, yeah, exactly. You could even say that. Say that if those two things happen,
would you
you'll
want to
spring
say?
wings.
Would you want to say alive for American 3 seed, or would you want to say clinches American 3 seed with Wichita State win? Because if they win and Wichita State doesn't lose to winless Tulane. All right, I'll verbal it. Okay. Yep.
And we could say they'll be the likely 3 seed.
Yep. $5,021,600. Oh, I always like these. Kind of want USF UConn instead of Tulsa SMU in that 7-10 game for my selfish purposes.
All right.
Okay. All right. Welcome to Saturday Showcase, presented by 5 Hour Energy. An enormous game in the American Conference. UCF and Temple battling for conference tournament seeding. Temple trying to keep its NCAA tournament hopes alive. And above it all, Fran Dunphy, the winningest coach in Big 5 history, makes the walk into the Liacouras Center for the final time. His last regular season home game as Temple coach. He caught up with our Rob Kennedy beforehand.
When you walked in today, what emotions came across you?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking too much about it, other than your director saying to me, you know, walk out of the car and make sure that that we're looking like we're doing the right thing. So, but I get it. I get all of the implications of that, but I really don't think about myself in this situation. I haven't thought about this being the last game I'm going to coach at Temple University or any of those things. I'm thinking about Shiz Alston. And I'm thinking about Ernest Flackpee and their senior day. And you met Mike Collins, our famous manager. I'm thinking about those guys. This is what this is all about. And I said it at the end here too. I said, embrace the moment, enjoy the moment, and let's deliver in the moment. How about that? If we deliver, that'll be great.
He may deflect the praise, but Fran Dunphy has had an extraordinary career here at Temple. However, he does know there are, in the moment, Rob Kennedy, bigger things at stake. Temple right now, Joe Lunardi's second to last team in the NCAA tournament. They've got to win at least one more game, and today is a quadrant 1 chance.
I'll tell you what, there are a ton of people in the building who would love to see Temple in the NCAA tournament for Fran Dunphy, but he only wants to see Temple in the NCAA tournament because of his players. That's why he's been so special, and that's why he holds such a special place in Philadelphia basketball history.
I disagree. Starting lineups? No. Oh man, I wish I had said something different on that opening voice track, but I don't want to make you guys redo it now. Because he didn't walk into the Lee Corps Center for the last time. He'll still come in here.
But then you hit it with his last regular season game.
Yeah.
You tagged it
I
with
know,
that.
but I was still. I know.
Yeah, no. I thought, especially with when you hit that.
Nah, I wasn't good. I'm not fishing for compliments. I promise. I can't believe it on water. That's crazy. What's that?
That's not Gail. I'm not yelling at you. I can't believe it on water bottles. Whenever, no rush. Really, no rush at all.
15 minutes?
All right.
Okay. All right, great.
Good.
I'll get my own damn water. I got my own goddamn water here.
An NIC season tip-off title, rings over 8, national 19. A native of Accra, Ghana, this 6'10" center arrived on campus as quick as he gave reports in the paint for the Avs, improving in virtually every statistical category each year. He's having his best season as a senior, averaging 5.6 points and a team-best 6.6 rebounds per game. The recipient of the Anthony B. Senior Scholar Athlete Award, who's also known for taking offensive charges, ranking
guess they didn't fall out either.
No, they didn't fall out.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Heineken. And ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Heineken. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Celtics and Lakers highlight this week's NBA Saturday primetime game. Kyrie and LeBron. What's up? Okay. Okay. That sounds good. Can you remind me when we get there, too? All right. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Did you want to run through any promos, Russ? Just because I have the cards now, I'm just thinking. What's in that? Later today, final weekend of the regular season. 2 of the games of the year over on ESPN. At 6 Eastern, Duke and North Carolina, round 2, and a Sonic blockbuster followed by Michigan and Michigan State. Another big-time sequel. Heels and Spartans won their respective first meetings. Those games following ours over on ESPN, streaming live on the ESPN app. Saturday primetime tonight on EBC. Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, the Celtics and the Lakers at 8:30 Eastern. Boston's West Coast trip rolls on with the Celtics a game back of 4th place Philly in the East. NBA Countdown tips it off at 8 Eastern on ABC. Sports Center tonight after Oregon-Washington with John Buccigross. Jay Billis joins the show with insights from Duke UNC. John Morant and Murray State play for an NCAA tournament berth against Belmont and the Celtics and Lakers. Sports Center midnight Eastern, ESPN and the app. Okay, I can't hear the music, but I guess it doesn't matter for now, right? All right. Our next UFC fight night happens tonight. Former heavyweight champ Junior Dos Santos against Derek Lewis from Intrust Bank Arena in Wichita, Kansas. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, exclusively on ESPN+. Start your free trial today. Blah, 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 blah. Looks like St. Francis is going to win. Set up St. Francis
Out
Fairleigh
there,
Dickinson,
yeah.
by the way.
What's that?
This will be St. Francis Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, at St. Francis.
Oh, 3:30. When does Murray State play tonight?
They're on. I think.
A road trip
8 o'clock.
isn't
8
just a road trip when you seek retribution against your biggest rival.
The best rivalry in college basketball.
Duke, North Carolina at 6. Michigan, Michigan State at 8. Tonight on ESPN. Champ Week continues through March 17th on the networks of ESPN.
Championship week is here, and ESPN has the possession arrow. Oh my! Y'all run the game, y'all just commentate from the side. I'm like, oh God, oh my. Everything I do, you know I do it for the squad. I'm like, oh God, oh my.
Exclusive presentation. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get back to 100%. And in part by Infinity. Empower the drive. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get back to 100%. And in part by Infinity. Empower the drive.
A little cheering section here, actually.
They do. I'm surprised.
For being all the way from Orlando.
Yeah.
Not bad. Oh, 3:30.
Still going to give us some time sitting around here for a little bit.
Yeah, but is that all right? Welcome to Saturday's Showcase, presented by 5 Hour Energy. An enormous game in the American Conference. UCF and Temple battling for conference tournament seeding. Temple trying to keep its NCAA tournament hopes alive. And above it all, Fran Dunphy, the winningest coach in Big Five history, makes the walk into the Liacouras Center for the final time. His last regular season home game as Temple coach. He caught up with our Rob Kennedy beforehand.
When you walked in today, what emotions came across you?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking too much about it, other than your director saying to me, you know, walk out of the car and make sure that that we're looking like we're doing the right thing. So, but I get it. I get all of the implications of that, but I really don't think about myself in this situation. I haven't thought about this being the last game I'm going to coach at Temple University or any of those things. I'm thinking about Shiz Alston. And I'm thinking about Ernest of Flack P and their senior day. And you met Mike Collins, our famous manager. I'm thinking about those guys. This is what this is all about. And but I said it at the end here too. I said, embrace the moment, enjoy the moment, and let's deliver in the moment. How about that? If we deliver, that'll be great.
Well, he can deflect all the praise he wants, but he's a man who deserves it, Fran Dunphy. An extraordinary career. He is right, however, about the importance of this game. It's senior night, and it's a night where Temple needs a win, Rob Kennedy. Right now they are Joe Lunardi's second to last team in the field. They have to win another game, in all likelihood, at least one more. And today is a quadrant one opportunity against UCF.
And that's what Fran Dunphy talked to us earlier today. Just win. If we win, everything else gets taken care of. But he does deflect all the praise, because all he's caring about is not getting himself back to the NCAA tournament, but getting this team and these players back into the NCAA tournament.
Senior night here at the Liacouras Center, and Temple will start defensively with UCF and 7'6" Taco Fall, who hits the side of the backboard, and then the senior Ernest of Flack P back in the starting lineup, hangs onto the ball for a jump, possession to Temple.
Well, Fall's been playing terrific basketball, the reigning American Player of the Week. And he really gave Temple fits the first time these two teams met.
Two starting seniors for Temple on this senior night. A Flackby you just saw, and Shiz Alston Jr. 1 point behind Jeremiah Martin for the conference's scoring lead. Rose and Pierre-Louis, the great guards, and Mormon, the forward. Quentin Rose, the first shot, rebounded by UCF's Aubrey Dawkins. Look at the night starting five. Terrell Allen with Dawkins, who is playing today. It was a game-time decision with a back injury. Colin Smith, Fall, and B.J. Taylor, the potential first-team all-conference player. First basket is good for Colin Smith, the redshirt sophomore, to put UCF on the board, plus a foul against a Flackby.
Well, the first time these two teams met seems like a year ago. Kevin, going back to the first game in conference play in early January, but UCF absolutely dominated inside. They outscored the Owls 44-16, points in the paint. They get their first three by pounding the basketball inside.
Won the game 78-73 2+ months ago. They bookend the conference season. These two open it in Orlando. They close it here on North Broad Street. J.P. Mormon, well short on the three, trying to follow his own miss. Smith has it for UCF. What a week it has been for the UCF Knights. They were on the fringe of the tournament field. Last Saturday they won at Houston with College game day in the house, snapping the longest home win streak in the nation. Just 2 nights ago they beat Cincinnati in the first top 25 matchup in school history on senior night. And now the Knights have a 5-0 lead, all courtesy of Smith.
Well, Smith, the biggest reason why they won at Houston when he had 21 points, 7 boards, and 3 assists in that game.
Well, Blackby missed one right at the rim. Here is Terrell Allen, the Drexel transfer, a young man who knows this area well. Smith left alone. He's got 8 in a row to start. His scoring average is 8.3.
But his confidence through the roof, as we said, that 21-point game at Houston. You know, think about it. The Knights absolutely destroyed a storybook weekend last weekend at Houston with game day in the house, a 33-game home winning streak for Houston. Trying to do the same here today.
Rose takes it into fall and finally unlocks the scoring for Temple.
Well, Rose is starting to be a little bit more aggressive coming down the stretch. Back-to-back 20-point performances last 2 times out.
Terrell Allen, that's a travel.
Violation.
Historic day for Fran Dunphy for Temple. Pretty good coach on the other sideline, too. Johnny Dawkins. You know, UCF has never made the NCAA tournament as an at-large team. They've been breaking down different barriers in Johnny Dawkins' 3 years, back-to-back wins against ranked teams, and they are all but locked into the tournament field right now after those 2 wins. Joey Brackets has them as an 8 seed. Shiz Alston for 3. His first shot on senior night. Would you expect anything else?
No, especially the way he's been playing, coming off that career high 34 last time out. And good decision by Rose. He had the open 3, but gave it to the better 3-point shooter in Alston.
It was Thursday night in a big win over UConn, 78-71 in Stores. 34 points for Alston, 1,538 in his Temple career. Terrell Allen stops a quick Temple surge with a bucket. First points for UCF outside of Smith for the redshirt junior Allen. Alston trying to answer. That's a goaltend against Taco Fall.
Oh, and you think you're by Taco Fall, but he's so darn big and has that incredible wingspan. Still somehow, even when he thinks he's out of the play, is able to get a hand on.
Conference leader in block shots. That will not count as one. Aubrey Dawkins. Aubrey Dawkins is fouled on a jump shot. That's a 3. Britton Rose with a foul, and Dawkins will shoot 3. Or is it? Now the officials are talking to each other. Anthony Jordan, Bill Eck, and Sean Cassidy are officials. Sean Cassidy signaled for 3 free throws. Bill Eck came over and said, I think it's 2, and they will head to the monitor to check. It is 2.
Good piece of officiating. That one wasn't even close. You see the contact, though. At least when they go to look at it, they saw the contact. So then when you go over as the official, obviously you've got to get it right if it's a 2 or a 3. But you also hold your breath saying, I hope there was contact when we go look at it.
Because you can't review that.
Correct.
Aubrey Dawkins, a little bit of a back issue on Thursday. He only played 27 minutes, tied for his second fewest of the year. Scored just 5 points in the win over Cincinnati. And Johnny Dawkins, his father and head coach, told us Aubrey would give it a go in warm-ups, be a game-time decision. Looked like a regular warm-up period, and he has 2. Pierre Louis. The Temple turnover, a 5-point lead for UCF on an emotional day. Senior night here in Philly.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get back to 100%. And in part by Infinity. Empower the drive.
Five-point lead for UCF. Saturday Showcase presented by 5-Hour Energy. Back from Temple, Kevin Brown, Rob Kennedy with you. It's an emotional day, as we said. Fran Dunphy's final regular season home game at Temple. Final home game if there's no NIT period. But it's not just a big one for Temple. It's a big one for a UCF team that is playing its best basketball, dare we say, ever in the Division I era.
Well, think about this. In school history, they never beat two ranked teams in one season. They did it within 5 days, following up the great win at Houston with a storybook ending to senior night for Taco Bell and the rest of their seniors. Great win at home. As you mentioned, first time ever that they had a matchup of two top 25 teams, and they had an electric crowd for that game.
Set the record on Thursday night for the most regular season wins in their Division I history. Most wins, period, in a season in their D1 history is 25, so they're close to that. Ranked for the second time ever. UCF has been described for years as this sleeping giant. More than 60,000 students, prime location in Orlando. You've seen it with football, certainly the last couple of years. Basketball, it's been a little bit of a slower growth. 4 NCAA tournaments, all as ASUN champions, the last in 2005. This should be their first year ever making the tournament as an at-large team.
Yeah, and the way they're playing, maybe they won't need an at-large bid.
You're right. Dawkins hits a three. Aubrey Dawkins back, not seeming to bother him. He has an early 5.
They've got good balance offensively because you throw the ball into Taco Fall and you got to worry about him with his size. And when you do, they can kick it out and find open three-point shooters.
BJ Taylor hasn't even attempted a shot so far, and UCF's 5 for 6 from the field. Here's Pierre-Louis tripped up, and that's a foul against Taco Fall. Always a concern for UCF. The 7'6" senior. Fall picks up his first.
Well, Johnny Dawkins' teams, as you would suspect from his lineage at Duke, it all starts with their tough, solid, physical man-to-man defense, but they've become much more efficient offensively this year.
And Fall will exit for Chad Brown. Yeah, it's a much better offensive team. They were hoping last year would be this kind of season. Of course, Dawkins missed the season. Taylor and Fall played just one game together. Those three have combined to start every game this year. Alston late in the shot clock. Shiz Alston into Colin Smith, who takes it away.
A great defensive possession for the Knights.
Dawkins again. On the roll to Brown, who just checked in. Position on Pierre-Louis, who recovers to stuff it. Temple team spearheaded by its 3 guards, Rose, Alston, Pierre-Louis. This is Rose, little bobble on the way up there, and the rebound to Dawkins for UCF. Smith's pass deflected by Mormon, and taken away by Alston. Temple, one of the steals leaders in the conference.
They would like to play at this type of pace.
UCF would not.
No, they're content to slow the basketball down, methodically beat you with their solid, grinded out man-to-man defense.
Taylor, first shot attempt rolls out, rebound to J.P. Mormon. There's Shiz Alston Jr. Got it for 3.
Boy, is he feeling it.
Shiz Alston Jr.
Senior captain, 3-year starter, a Temple legacy. His father, Levan, an now a guard under John Chaney in the mid-90s, who made a couple of NCAA tournaments. Shiz, hoping to match his dad in postseason play this year. Long one missed by Smith, and here is Temple, which again can run.
Well, you can run if you rebound, and they've been rebounding the basketball.
Mormon cans a 3. Temple red hot from the outside.
Well, first time these two teams met, they knocked down 13 threes. A lot of those late in the ball game after they got themselves down by 13 in the second half.
Al's the 3rd best three-point shooting team in conference games, nearly 36%. Dawkins will try one out of rhythm. Mormon has the rebound. Mormon off the shot fake. Tie game, just like that. Timeout, Johnny Dawkins to curb an 8-0 Temple run.
I didn't know if he was coming with the replay or whatever. Yes. Yep. No, that worked.
Yeah. Are we getting Deontay, or is it under 8?
Under 8.
Under 8, okay. All right, Russ, what are you thinking here?
Yeah.
You want to do the Shiz and his dad, Shiz Levan thing? Or just... Okay. Okay. Okay.
And that was on the post game talking to Lapis, right?
I don't know if that quote was to. I don't think it was to Lapis.
Okay.
I think it was to a reporter, but it was
yeah,
post game.
got it.
It was post game Thursday.
It's fine.
Okay. Okay. Surge for the Temple Owls on Senior Day. Shiz Alston perfect from the field. Welcome back to North Broad Street in the American Conference on ESPN. 15 all thanks to Shiz Alston Jr. 3 for 3, Rob Early.
Oh, that's a tough one. He's fallen off balance, maybe a little contact, ends up on the floor. But same results as he's been getting, especially late in the season. He's been on one heck of a tear, 20 or more in each of the last 6 games.
This was after Thursday's win at UConn. Shiz, who Fran Dunphy tells us is the resident bracketology student of the team. We get the UCF game. I feel we're a lock for the tournament, and that is all anybody wants. Shiz, a Temple legacy, as we said. His father, Levan, was part of a couple of NCAA tournaments. Shiz has not been. it seems extra important for this young man to get Temple back to the Big Dance.
And he's doing something about it. I mean, he's stepping up and playing his best basketball.
Now, it was 15-15 going to break. It looks like that Alston 3 was changed to a 2 during the break. So Alston has 7, and UCF has a 1-point lead still. There's Smith working on Moorman out of the timeout. Colin Smith had the first 8 for UCF. That will not count. That's a travel and a UCF turnover.
And since Fall's come out of the game, Kevin, they have not been as efficient on the offensive end. His mere presence in the low post, and it is a presence at 7'6", 310, forces defenses to collapse, and other guys have more space to maneuver.
That's simply a case of managing minutes early.
Yeah, and that's what they've done all year. One of the reasons why he hasn't faded late this season.
J.P. Moorman, it's his second 3. Temple now 3 for 5 from deep, and the Owls have their first lead. This was an 8-0 start for UCF. Temple has been rolling since. Fran Dunphy's Temple teams have won 11 consecutive senior day games.
A good solid defense in the post right there by Hamilton.
Alston missed it. Pierre-Louis fighting hard for the rebound, and he draws the foul. How about the hustle? Nate Pierre-Louis and Temple flying all over the floor with a foul on Terrell Allen.
Well, that's a great call, Kevin, because they've been fighting on the backboards. They've been rebounding the basketball. That was one of the keys for both coaches coming into this ball game. Temple not a very good rebounding team on the season, dead last in the American as far as rebounding margin.
Here's Justin Hamilton, who's fouled. Fall back into the game. Hamilton fouled by Brown. The sophomore Justin Hamilton, whose minutes have gone up considerably of late, will head to the line.
Here's good ball movement. I'll tell you what, I love the energy that Quentin Rose has to start the game. There are times where he disappears as well as anybody, but he's been playing with a little bit more focus coming down the stretch of the season. And when he does that, remember, this is a guy that was a preseason pick to be a first-team all-conference player. He's got that kind of talent, but he's got to bring it every day.
Rose will not get an assist here, but this is a rule change that you and I can advocate for. You get a pass that leads to free throws, give him a half assist or something, right?
Because he led to those points, and he made a great play.
He drew Taco Fall.
Absolutely.
So Hamilton hits 2, an 11 for 24 free throw shooter coming in. 13 in a row for Temple. UCF has not scored in nearly 4.5 minutes. Dayon Griffin lost it off his body. It's another turnover.
Yeah, it won't be a steal for Quentin Rose, who's third in the American at over 2 steals per game, but he does force a turnover.
Alani Moore is checked in to give Alston a rare breather. Moore wearing 0 with the hot pink shoes. Pierre-Louis. Hamilton threw it away. B.J. Taylor has the steal for the Knights. The senior out of Orlando, Taylor, his final regular season game. UCF currently the 3 seed, Temple the 4. Those could flip-flop. Temple could climb to the 3 seed in the American Conference Tournament. UCF could still get as high as the number 2 seed with a win today and a Cincinnati loss tomorrow. Aubrey Dawkins to the line, fouled by J.P. Moorman, his first. What's at stake? Not just Temple's NCAA tournament chances. Here's why the 3 seed is so important compared to the 4. Memphis is locked into the number 5 seed in the American Conference, so the number 4 seed in all likelihood gets Memphis in the quarterfinals. Where's the conference tournament played? In Memphis. So the Tigers will get a home game, and with Jeremiah Martin right now, nobody wants to play them.
Absolutely not, especially in the FedEx Forum, because they're 14-2. They've got a home game to finish it off, a game you would expect them to win at home against Tulsa today. Those only 2 losses, Cincinnati and early in the season against Tennessee.
15 to shoot for Temple, which will have it. Yeah, if you avoid the 4-5 game, you'll likely get Wichita State as the 6th seed, an improving Wichita State team, but much different than Memphis in Memphis.
Yeah, that's no prize either, because the Shockers have won 8 out of 10.
Hamilton tried to push it up over Taco Fall at 7-6. Dawkins has the rebound for UCF.
And it changes the arc on your shot to be able to get it over the 7-6 defender.
That's going the other way. Offensive foul against Taco Fall. His second.
Well, that's a big call right there. He's just shaping up. Tell you what, I don't like that call. Even though they're trying to clean up post play, he gets penalized because he's 310 pounds against Hamilton, who's given up at least 50 to 60 pounds on that one. I'm not so sure that he shedded him off with anything but his size.
You're being generous because Hamilton's listed at 190.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say 210.
50 to 60 plus 50 to 60.
There you go. Giving up triple-digit pounds.
Devondre Perry with a miss, rebounded to Griffin. You know, on Thursday night, John Thompson III, who was do the game for us, said something interesting. He said it's hard to officiate Taco Fall. As Dawkins hits a 3 to put UCF back in the lead. Aubrey Dawkins shooting it well early for the Knights.
Well, yeah, it's really hard to officiate him because he just is so darn big and takes up so much space. I think that time his immense size backfired on him.
UCF plays at one of the slowest tempos in the nation in the 300s, but they have pushed the ball when given the chance. Didn't work out so well there on a wayward pass by Smith, another turnover. 4th turnover in 7 trips for UCF without Taco Fall, who stands 7'6", 310, one of the 40 tallest human beings on earth. Shoe size 22. Your average Payless has quite a few of those in stock.
We'll get an open 3 against the first look from UCF in zone here so far today.
Taylor. Quick trigger for Taylor, misses badly. Alston head down. And a blocking foul against Colin Smith.
Well, watching the game the other night down at UCF, I was watching with my youngest son, and Taco Fall had a dunk during that game that my youngest son's first reaction was, Dad, I think he was on the ground when he finished that dunk. And indeed, when they showed the replay, he was on his toes. His toes were on the ground as he was pulling the rim down.
Is that the moment your son learned you don't have to jump to score in basketball? Alston bangs home a triple.
He is just absolutely playing with confidence, and he is just saying, you know what, I'm the senior leader of this team, and I'm going to see if I can't take us all the way into the NCAA tournament.
An answer from Dawkins, that will be reviewed. It's a 3 as it stands.
Boy, his back looks pretty good so far. Not just scoring, but he is moving well.
So does his front. Aubrey Dawkins carrying UCF. Hamilton on the other side. A flush and a foul for Justin Hamilton. Second foul against Colin Smith to send us to a timeout.
Well, on senior day, you want to make sure that you step up and finish it the right way. Here's a terrific finish by Hamilton through contact. And then the senior leader of the Owls getting things done. Shiz Alston out to the lead.
Okay. Another 3 to a 2? Okay. So 24-22? Okay. All right. He's right
yes,
here.
Yes, he's here.
Can you hear us? Yeah.
Press your volume in your headset because you can change it with. Here, I'll put this down for you.
No, I can't. I
Change
can't
it
hear
if you need.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear anything?
I can hear a little bit. I can hear you. Speak again. Say it.
Okay. I can't hear Deontay right now, guys.
Can we open Deontay's mic?
Yeah, can we open Deontay's mic?
Can we open Deontay's mic?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
There we go. You got me now?
1, 2, 3.
Can you hear me?
Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Let me turn this
All
up a
right,
little
good.
bit.
You got both of us.
Good.
We're good.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Larry's trying to take a picture. Okay.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you. It's been a great start to this game for Temple. It's been a great career for Fran Dunphy. This is his last regular season home game. The winningest coach in Big Five history. Of course, a legend at Penn where he won 10 Ivy League championships. Back-to-back-to-back A-10 championships here at Temple where he's made 7 NCAA tournaments. He's a professor. And a lot of folks know Fran Dunphy only with the mustache. That last picture was Fran without the mustache. The man who's the reason for mustacheless Fran Dunphy, one of the all-time greats at Temple, Deontay Christmas. So you saw in that graphic, that was Fran fulfilling a promise to you. Why he shaved off the mustache. What was that promise? Why did he shave it off for you?
Just me graduating and getting my degree. You know, he's really heavy into that. And, you know, he told me, you know, if you get your degree, I'll shave my mustache. You know, he told me that his wife never seen him without his mustache. So, you know, that put a little bit more into it. But it was crazy, man. And I remember the day I got it, and I sent him the text, and he was like, oh, well, I'm going to do what I promised. So just this random day, man, he called me in the summer and was like, hey, come down to Temple. I got something for you. And, like, it was so much media there. It was crazy. I'm like, what is this for? And then he just started talking and just went away at it. And I was like, man, this is crazy. And he really did it, man. And that was a crazy day for me, man. And I'm actually happy that he did that for me. And I got my degree now. And when it's all said and done with me with basketball, I'm going to try to use my degree and, further my life, my career.
And you know what's interesting? Obviously, you recruited here to Temple by John Chaney.
Yeah.
And then you ended up playing for Fran Dunphy. So
Crazy.
you didn't have a relationship with Fran really coming into it.
At all.
But that relationship blossomed and grew.
Oh, man, it grew to something great and special, man. To this day, man, me and Coach talk all the time. And actually, it's funny, before he came here, one of my coaches when I was young was Jerome Allen.
Yep.
And he played under Coach Dump. So he was the first guy that I called, to figure out how Coach was and what he expected out of guys. And, when we met, man, it just clicked from day one. He came in, defensive mindset. And, he didn't take no crap from nobody. Didn't care if you were the star or the walk-on. He spoke to us all the same. And I respected him from day one, man. And we just grew this crazy relationship. And, through the good and the bad, man, Coach has always been there. And he's a person that I feel very comfortable talking to on a daily basis, man. And, to see him tonight at his last game in this arena, man, is crazy.
Deontay Christmas is with us. By the way, just a housekeeping note, the Aubrey Dawkins basket before he went to break was changed to a 2 during the break. That is a 3 for Frank Burtz, puts UCF back in the lead.
They're not going to have to change that one. That was about 10 feet beyond the three-point. That was a Deontay Christmas 3 right there.
For sure.
Deontay never towed it up. He had plenty of space from the line.
Yeah, I was always 2 feet behind that.
You had a record broken recently by a young man on this court. Shiz Alston broke your record for consecutive games with a 3-pointer.
I was here for that. I was actually here for that, man. And we actually talked before it happened. I was like, man, don't stress yourself, man. Just go out there and do it. He said, I'm gonna take 23s if I have to break it, man. You know, that record held for some time, but I'm glad it's him, man. I've been around Shiz since he was about 6, 7 years old. And I used to work out with his dad. You know, his dad played professional overseas. And coming up when I was in high school, he would work out and bring Shiz along. And to see Shiz where he is now and doing what he's doing, man, it's crazy. I'm so happy for him. I can't wait to see what he does at the next level, man. He's so poised, great shooter, great player, man. He's doing well for this university and for himself.
It's about as emotional a day, I think, as you can get, because you have Coach's final regular season home game here. It's senior day for Shiz, who's going to go down as one of the all-time leading scorers here. And a pretty good passer, too.
Oh, for sure.
He finds Hamilton to tie the game.
That's one thing Shiz has over me, man. He does it all, man. He passes, he rebounds, and he defends. So, me, you know, Coach wanted me to just put the bucket in, put the ball in the hole. We had guys like Mark Tyndall, who's here today, you know, who was a great guy with me, man. He helped out a lot, man, because he took some of the pressure away from me. And then it's great to see a lot of these legends.
All right, let's take a look at this last play by Shiz. Are you making this pass, Deontay Christmas?
He's pulling the trigger on that one.
Coming off the screen. I might have shot the 3 after that screen.
Yeah. One thing, I mean, Alston's got a chance to potentially win the scoring title here in the American this year. Comes in trailing by just 1 point to Jeremiah Martin. You did it 3 consecutive years in the Atlantic 10. And people don't remember that you're the only player in the history of the Atlantic 10 to lead the league in scoring 3 straight years.
Yeah. I mean, again, man, Coach Dunphy, he had all the confidence in me. Like I said, I had guys like Mark Tyndall, Chris Clark, Deion Dinkins was over there. A lot of guys, familiar faces here, but without those guys, man, I don't think I would have been able to do it. You know, they gave me all the confidence. They didn't care if I shot, you know, if I came down and shot 3 or 4 shots in a row. Those guys trusted me, they believed in me and believed in my abilities, man. So shout out to them, shout out to Coach Dunphy, the whole coaching staff, everybody, man. Without them, it wouldn't have happened.
What do you think Coach Dunphy will do in, and I use the word loosely, retirement?
Play golf every day.
You think so?
You know, man, he's a guy who loves golf. Always talking about golf, always golfing. So I think probably the first year, man, he's gonna play golf probably every day, and then who knows? He may get on TV. You know, I don't know. But maybe continue to teach. You know, he teaches at Temple, so he loves that. Man, he loves teaching people. He loves the kids, man. So I say golf and just probably teaching.
Why do you think it was so important to go back to him shaving off his mustache because you graduated? Why do you think it was so important for him, specifically for you, to graduate?
I think it's important for everybody, man, to get your degree, man, because, you know, basketball isn't forever. You know, it's a short window for it, and after you're done, you know, you don't have to use your degree, and you don't have to, you know, potentially get a job or, you know, work. And so with me, you know, this is my 10th year out, and you know, hopefully I got another 10 years like Vince Carter. But you know, when it's all said and done, man, you know, I'm gonna try to work and use my degree, and because without your degree, it's gonna be tough. And he would always stress that. He always wanted us to get our degree. So.
Deontay, great to spend some time with you today. I know it's a big day for the Temple family.
I love being here. I love being with you guys. This is an amazing outcome, atmosphere. So thank you, man. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate
Good luck.
you.
We'll see you and Coach Dunphy on the putting green someday.
Yeah, I would try. I've been trying to get him to teach me, but I haven't had time.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Heineken. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
All right, we're back. Oh, no, well, I think.
Good. That was good. Good job, Kev.
I think that went well.
Definitely.
Nice guy.
Yep.
Okay. Do you know why I didn't hear studio last time?
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Heineken. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Final weekend of the regular season, maybe the two best games of the weekend of the month, two of the best ones of the year are on ESPN tonight. Immediately following our game, Duke and Carolina round 2. Immediately following that game, Michigan and Michigan State round 2. For the top 9 teams of the country, it's a sonic blockbuster on ESPN and all streaming live on the ESPN app. No Zion Williamson ruled out for the rematch. Of course, the first Duke Carolina game was the game where Zion blew out his shoe, and he has not played since. So we'll see Zion, we think in the ACC tournament next week.
Yeah, that's the word that's coming out of Duke, giving them some more time to get ready.
Meanwhile, we just had Deontay Christmas on, which was wonderful. Great to talk with Deontay. Just to update a couple of stats for you here. Aubrey Dawkins has 16 of UCF's 31. Colin Smith has 8. So the Knights have B.J. Taylor with 2 points. Taco Fall hasn't scored. He has 2 fouls. And UCF is tied because Dawkins, who we weren't sure was going to play, and Smith have combined for 24. Go figure.
Yeah, that game day decision worked out pretty well for the Knights. And Dawkins with those 16 points. Remember, Smith scored the first 8 points of the game for UCF. Since then, it's been the Aubrey Dawkins show. He's got 16 of their last 23 points.
Temple right now led by Shiz Halston with 12 and 3 assists. Here's Dawkins again. 4-3.
Tell you what, maybe sitting a few minutes late in that Cincinnati game with the sore back, something worked out. He's got 19 here in the first half. He's been aggressive and efficient.
He was 2 for 7 on Thursday for 5 points. Right now he is 6 for 8 for 19. Allen just stepped out of bounds. Oh boy. An unforced error, a rare turnover for Johnny Dawkins' experienced group.
You can't see right there as Dawkins blocks our view, but Anthony Jordan was right on top of it.
8th UCF turnover. They nearly took one away if Lackby recovers for Temple. Austin coming off a career-high 34 on Thursday in the win at UConn. Now Pierre-Louis. A Flackby got the bump. A Flackby fouled by Chad Brown, and UCF's in some trouble now. Fall and Brown each have 2 here in the first half.
Well, Temple's been able to get the basketball inside because of dribble penetration. A Flackby takes a little bit of a contact right there as Brown walks under him. Those are shots that a Flackby's got to be able to finish. Missed an easy one at the start of the game. He's back to being close to 100% after missing a couple of games with an injury and limited minutes. The 2 games prior to playing 17 at UConn last time out.
Had missed 2 games with that knee injury. 2 for 2 at the line of Flackby, who is a 56% free throw shooter. UCF can get to the 2 seed in the American with a win today and a Cincinnati loss versus Houston tomorrow. Temple with a win all but guarantees the American 3 seed. Some weird things would have to happen for that not to be the case. Cesar De Jesus came down. That's a travel. 9 turnovers for a UCF team that only averages 11.8.
Yeah, better defense energy from Temple than we've seen at times throughout the season.
That 11.8, by the way, in conference, they're actually better even in the non-conference, on pace to set the program record for fewest turnovers per game. But 9 already in the first half. Mormon 3. Rebound to Dawkins, who's got 6.
Yeah, he's been all over the place.
Already tied a season high with 5 made threes. Dawkins loses it. Brown, Johnny on the spot. Is De Jesus, and he travels again. Cesar De Jesus has seen his minutes cut quite dramatically, and this isn't going to help.
Yeah, and what happens sometimes when all of a sudden you're playing less, your confidence is shot. They kicked the ball to him wide open in the corner, didn't even think about pulling the trigger. Instead, screwing around with the basketball, end up turning it over.
Alston, that's deep. Last touch by Temple.
Alston doing a good job against the 2-3 zone, getting to the high post where he can make plays with the basketball in his hands there. The Temple's come up empty. A couple of good looks last 2 times down. Just can't convert.
Allen into traffic, somehow got away with a basketball and a chance to dribble. We're under a minute in the first half. Here's De Jesus, has it taken away, Pierre-Louis.
Well, that's what they do, force turnovers into buckets at the other end. Top 20 in the country in steals per game at just under 9 a game.
Mormon gambled for another one on Brown. Has to scramble back into position. Leads to a missed 3 by Burtz. Brown the offensive rebound, and it's going the other way. Temple will have a chance at the final shot. Fran Dunphy looks ready to take his use it or lose it timeout first. And he will. Back in 30 to the Liacouras Center. Fran Dunphy looking for a halftime lead in his Philly finale. .902nd game in the head coaching career of Fran Dunphy. He's won 578 of them, 269 and 160 at Temple, where he's won nearly 63% of his games. John Chaney and Harry Litwack, both Hall of Famers, have their names and banners hanging in the rafters. Wouldn't be surprised to see Fran Dunphy join them someday. His final regular season home game as head coach of the Temple Owls, and his team will hold for the last shot.
And UCF back in the 2-3 zone. Look for Alston to try to initiate basketball in his hands.
He does. Misses a 3. Rebound to Burtz, and that's the way the first half ends. Entertaining first half, Rob Kennedy.
Yeah, well played. Both teams making shots. Little turnovers for UCF, but certainly an entertaining first 20 minutes.
Fred Dunphy will have some things to talk about, but his team has a 1-point lead. 35-34 after 20 minutes in Fran's Philly finale. Taken out of the studio, Kevin Connors, take it away.